Welcome to a Week 11 NFL preview on the Trippy J podcast. We have ourselves a special guest tonight, Zach Ellison, also joined with my brother, Jacob Reddig. First off, Zach, long time, man. I haven't talked to you in a minute. How you feeling so far this year with your NFL team, and how are you doing yourself?
Well, Chargers, I feel like could be a lot better. Injuries everywhere. Not much else to say about that. Myself, got moved down to South Carolina. Actually driving back tomorrow for Thanksgiving, but other than that, doing well.
Awesome, dude. I hope the move went smooth. Did you get a job down there? Are you doing the same job you've been doing, or
I got the
how's that
same job
working?
right now. Kind of looking right now, seeing what I can find down here. But right now, I'm keeping the same thing.
Cool. Jake, how you doing tonight, man? I know you're pretty upset with me right now, but hopefully you can feel better.
Yeah, fuck you, Jared. Zach. Hope all is well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, everything's been going good on this end, so
Yeah,
no
I
worries
hope
here.
literally hope you get food poisoning.
Actually, I thought I did this throughout my whole day at work. I thought I had food poisoning. I couldn't get away from the bathroom, so I think it caught me a little bit early. But yeah, so we're gonna break down, or the guys are gonna break down the NFL games this week. I'm just gonna kind of host and go through the games, and they'll talk more about them. The first game happened yesterday of the week, and it was the Packers losing at home to the Titans. So we're not going to talk too much about that. I know it pulls on some heartstrings in this group, so we're not going to waste too much time there.
Definitely not going to talk about it because I know for 100% that's definitely not on the script. Secondly, this is a preview show. We're going to be previewing the games, so we're not recapping games. So,
I got it. That's my fault. That's my fault. On this thing, it says who will struggle. My bad. The Packers already struggled. That's on me. I apologize.
Exactly.
All right, we'll move on to the games that are going to happen this week. Still, teams that do have a chance to win still this week. Let's start with the in the division, NFC North. The Bears are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. I know Zach was just in Atlanta. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago or last week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. So let's start with this game, Zach. I'll have you start. What do you think? How do you think this game's going to go?
Well, I'll just say first, I did go down that stadium. Super nice Mercedes-Benz. They had the top open. Super nice day. Great fans down there. I think Bears, way Justin Fields been playing, a couple losses, in the meantime, him still playing lights out. But homecoming game for him, born and raised in Georgia, went to Georgia until he transferred to Ohio State. I think another, standout game for him. And, I see, a close game, but I do think the Bears come out on top. Falcons run defense is like bottom 2 in the league. So I can see, Bears running all over them.
Is David Montgomery going to finally do something this week? Because Herbert's out, I think, for a couple weeks. I'm hoping Montgomery can step it up.
I've had Herbert on my bench pretty much all year in fantasy. He hasn't really done much at all, but I don't know. I think a lot of the running comes through Justin these days.
For sure. Jake, what are your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to have to pick the Falcons on this.
Shocker
and that's
there.
simply just because Justin Fields is on the other team. Don't get me wrong, Justin Fields is going to have a good game, fantasy-wise, but when it comes down to it, he can't score more points than another team on the actual football game. So I'm just going to let this one go down to the Falcons, and Fields will probably have 45 points in fantasy, but he will have an L in the column for wins.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, well, we don't allow any Justin Fields slander on this show, and you know that. So I'm gonna need you to take back your comments. Very good NFL quarterback. You are just a mad hater because he's taking over the division. He's the best quarterback in the division now, and you just can't accept it.
Not even close to being close to Kirk Cousins, but okay.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's right. I forgot about Kirk Cousins. So
exactly.
Justin Fields is second best. That's fine.
And I just want to say, when people talk about Justin Fields, the number one thing they bring up is his stats and what he's doing in fantasy football right now. No one cares about what he's doing in fantasy.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Break the tension. You taking prime time Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields? 8:00 game. Who we got?
Prime time? Well, first off, the Bears aren't going to be on prime time. Second off, If it's that matchup and Kirk Cousins is playing prime time against the Bears, he's still going to beat the Bears. I'm just saying when you see them talk about Jalen Hurts, when you see him talk about Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes, they don't say, "Oh, he's a top 2 fantasy quarterback the last 4 weeks." That's not what they're talking about. That's all they can talk about with Justin Fields. They can't say, "Oh, he was the reason why they won that football game." It's the last 4 weeks he's a top 4 fantasy football quarterback. That's
But
what they're saying.
you could argue that he's the reason that they're in football games every
Oh,
week.
100%, 100%. But you can't sit there and say he's a good NFL quarterback based off his fantasy football stats. He's not winning football games. He's not a good NFL quarterback.
All right, hold up. Before we go to the next game,
Jared, you draft a player to
no,
win football
just
games,
stop.
not
Can
to
you
have
just
good
let me
fantasy
talk for-
football season.
Can you just let me talk for a second, please? Since Zach is on the show and he's in our group chat on Snapchat, before Justin Fields started doing this little run he's on, everyone was talking shit that he didn't put up the stats and the Bears were winning despite of him. But the Bears were winning. So he wasn't a good quarterback then because he didn't put up the numbers, but the Bears were winning. Now he's putting up crazy numbers, but the Bears can't win. And he's still not a good quarterback. What does he need to do?
I don't remember ever saying he was the reason.
I'm not saying you, Jake, but you're kind of running with that narrative right now too. You never said anything in the group chat, but it was said, and now you're with that narrative. So I'm asking, what can he do?
I'm running with the narrative that we're not basing quarterbacks, good NFL quarterbacks, based off their fantasy football scores. That's all I'm saying.
But you're kind of arguing that it's quarterback like wins or a quarterback stat, and if that's the same thing, he's in basically the same. Justin Herbert's just a little bit better.
No, I think you can base a good NFL quarterback based off if you can win or not. I mean, we're not talking a guy 3 years from now if he's a good NFL quarterback if he's 1-36, but if he's 36-1, he's obviously a good NFL quarterback.
So the first 5 weeks, Justin is a good quarterback. The last 5 weeks, he's not. Is what you're trying to tell me?
What was their record the first 5 weeks?
They were 3-2 at one point. I'm pretty
3-2.
Yeah, now they're 3.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's good.
All right. Well, I just think the goalposts are always going to be moved for Justin Fields because no one wants to see him succeed. That's just my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. When the Bears start upgrading a little bit in the draft and some free agents, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, it is what it is. But let's move on. Let's not waste too much time. The 3-6 Browns are playing at the Detroit Bills. Any thoughts on this game, Zach? Since this game got moved from Buffalo.
Man, I wish.
Apparently they – did you see that fucking pictures today of this field?
Hey, that's awesome. I low-key wish they could have played there, but I mean, I saw a bunch of reports that people aren't even going to be able to get out their house for a couple of days.
Dude, they can't even get in the stands. They can't even get in the seats. They
No,
can't even get to
like,
the
how do you
field.
even clear that off? Yeah. No, I mean, I think it would have been a lot different if they played at home. I think, Browns were going to be able to pound the ball and been run back showcase, basically, a little bit of throwing the ball, but I think that, Bills are going to, bounce back extra, especially after that game. I think Josh Allen's, pretty pissed off of the last 2 performances that he's had, basically threw the game away last week, and, I see them bouncing it back. But, yeah, I think closer game if it was still in Buffalo, but I like the Bills. Right? I don't know. Spread's like -8. That's tough whenever it gets over 7.5, but I think they handle the Browns pretty easily.
Yeah, so how many times are we going to start talking about Josh Allen being pissed off after losing a game? And when is he just going to change it? When is he going to win a game in that situation?
Hey, he finally got the ball in overtime and threw a pick.
Right. So I mean, what else can he say now, or what else can he be pissed off about until he's finally going to win that game? But we'll see. We'll see. Jake, what are your thoughts here?
Sorry, I'm getting some inside scoop with my Minnesota Viking fan over there because you're throwing some slander at Justin Fields, and I'm gonna let him know that you said Justin Fields over Kirk Cousins. I need to get this guy on my side. And if Vikings and a Packer will go against a Bear. But no, I got the Bills. It's a bounce back week for the Bills. They're playing in a dome, and I just don't see anything stopping them. And for some reason, the Browns just don't want to run the ball. They have a top 5 running back in the NFL, and they don't get him the ball. So I got the Bills by like 14.
arguably the best backfield in the NFL.
That's very true.
I personally hope that the Browns don't hand the ball off one time this week. I play against Nick Chubb in fantasy, so I would love them to see them pass 60 times.
Brissett's last game, never know. I'm assuming Watson
go,
will start
baby.
after their bye.
Fucking air this bitch out. Let's go. Air it out.
Last chance.
No. Brissett plays next week still.
I thought they had a bye next week and then week 13.
No. Only reason no is because Tampa Bay plays in Cleveland next week.
Oh, okay. So he got one more.
And then the following week is the Texans game.
Copy.
But next game on the slate is the now 8-1 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Indianapolis to take on the 4-5-1 Colts and the 1-0 Jeff Saturdays. Zach?
We got Eagles. Fuck. I mean, I think they gave alley-oop to Jeff Saturday, getting his first win playing against the stinking Raiders. Dog awful organization. But I think that's over. I mean, they started running the ball well, a lot better than they were all season. But, I think the Eagles come back, especially after losing at home against Washington. I think they, shut it down early. I think they'll probably cover the spread as well. I think it was -7. I like Eagles, blow them out. No weather impact here. They're in the Lucas Oil. I think the Eagles bounce back pretty easily.
Jake, you on the same page with that one?
Yeah, I think they shut down just our Jonathan Taylor, and the Eagles bounce back.
Gotcha. Zach, I know me and Jake talked about the Eagles on the recap show this week. Are you concerned about the Eagles at all? Are they kind of overhyped, or is it just one of those things that they got over their heads and just they needed to lose this game? What are your thoughts on the Eagles?
I think it's a little bit of both. Girlfriend's an Eagles fan, so we watch a lot of Eagles. But I think they needed to lose one. All the hype that was building up around them, I think that adds a lot of pressure to it a little bit too. Obviously not a great one to lose. But I mean, they didn't do well stopping the run. With Jordan Davis, right? Guy out of Georgia. He's been out. I think they'll be fine. I mean, the schedule doesn't get much tougher for them. So we'll see come playoff time. But I mean, they have good secondary and good cornerbacks, but for whatever reason they struggle, keeping it whenever someone throws the ball over the middle. I don't know what that's about, but they're good at grabbing turnovers and they got a lot of weapons, so I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, they just signed Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh this week too to stop the run game up the middle. So I don't know. I think JT could have a big game for the Colts, but I do see the Eagles kind of getting back on track.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of a surprising matchup. So the Patriots were both these teams on a bye last week, the Jets and the Patriots. Or did the Jets play? But anyways, I know the Patriots were definitely on a bye, and their last game was against the Jets. They played 2 out of 3 weeks. The Jets are 6-3, heading to Foxborough to take on the 5-4 Patriots. I know the Patriots got the best of them last time. What are your guys' thoughts? Zach, we'll start with you.
I mean, I was looking at the stats actually, and on paper, the Jets are putting more yards up, putting more points up, letting less yards up. Both sides of the ball, on paper, they look better. I don't know. The Jets surprised me this year. They came out and they played good ball. This has been the only team in their division that they've lost to. They've beat Buffalo and they beat Miami. So I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Jets. It was a 5-point game last time, I believe. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Jets, but I feel like this could go either way.
Jake?
I got Bill Belichick in this game. He ain't losing at home. Divisional game against the Jets.
This would be 14 in a row for New England against the Jets.
I just don't see him losing. They're going to be down about 17-14, 17-10 and a half, and they're going to win 24-17.
Yeah, I think I would lean with Bill Belichick at home too against the Jets. But I don't know. It should be an interesting game. Could be a good one. Mac Jones is kind of dog shit. Personally, in my opinion.
He ain't nothing too special.
He's definitely not all he was. No, fucking Bailey Zappi wins, bitch.
Did he have his team in the playoffs last year?
It is.
I forgot. Mac Jones is probably the greatest quarterback in the NFL because his team wins. That's my bad. That's my bad for assuming. It's on me.
Excels his team.
All right. Let's move on to maybe the two most underwhelming teams of the year, or at least two of the most. The Rams 3-6, defending Super Bowl champions, without Cooper Kupp, are heading to New Orleans to take on the 3-7 Saints. I mean, seeing 3 wins in both these teams' win column in the first 10 games of the season is shocking to me.
No.
So kind of a battle of shit teams. But Zach, we'll start with you here.
So I mean, biggest thing there, no Cooper Kupp. I think that's already sways a little bit towards New Orleans. I was looking at it. I mean, I think that defending champs are just going to continue to burn. I don't see it getting much better. Offense has been piss poor. Defense let up what they let up last week, like 27 points to a third string quarterback after the backup got hurt. What's that about?
Colt McCoy, baby, let's go.
Yeah, and then dude from Penn State,
McSorley.
Forget
He
his
hopped
name.
in there for a little bit.
McSorley came in. Yeah, he finished the game, I'm pretty sure. Well, he at least came in for a bit. But you're letting up 27 points to a third string quarterback. That defense, they got Bobby Wagner this year. I don't really know what's going on there, but I don't know. I'm leaning towards the Saints. Just don't think offensively, without Kupp, that gives you another edge. That takes, defenders away from everybody else as well. He gets open anyways. And I don't know. Seeing their defense let up 27 last week like that, I'm leaning towards Saints. But I see a close game.
Isn't it crazy when you watch the Rams and Cooper Kupp is always open? I don't get it. I really don't get it.
This shakes everybody.
What are you doing during the week as a defensive coordinator that you let this motherfucker get that open every week? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But Jake, all right, what are your thoughts? I know you're a big Andy Dalton fan. Are we going to see Jameis Winston ever again? Because that man is at least fun to watch. But what are your thoughts on this game?
I really don't know who's going to win this game. It really just depends. Probably leaning towards the Saints. But all I know is my fantasy football team got better last week, and I had a player that got injured. So let me know how that happens. My tight end, Zach Ertz, out for the year, and my fantasy team got better. For some reason, Tyler Higbee was on the waivers in a 12-man league. He's on the waivers, and I pick him up. So that's
because I picked him up on Travis Kelce's bye week, and he got me a goose egg. So I dropped his ass immediately.
Well, it was cool to see Zach Ertz, or not. It wasn't cool to see Zach Ertz get injured, but it was cool to see him on the waivers because he was still tight end number 10, and he just lost Cooper Kupp, so he's going to be getting a lot of looks.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Saints.
Nice. Yep. Tight end 10 in the year, and he got me a fat 0. Appreciate him. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. So this next game, and I saw the records, a little bit shocking to me. The 3-6 Lions are heading to the Meadowlands to take on the 7-2 New York Giants. 7-2. They're only one game back from the Eagles. Zach, where you at here?
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened to the NFC East. Growing up, it's always been a 7-8, 8-7, 9-6 gets you in the playoff, or it was a game less last couple of years. But case in point, it's always been a tight division, no matter what. It still is, but for some reason, it's not with the losses. Everyone's up there, actually competing. It's kind of crazy how schedules is flipped and everything. But I don't know. I'm not still super high on the Giants. I don't know why they're 7-2, but they find ways to win. Find ways to win ball games. Doesn't matter how they do it. No matter what. They've just been winning ball games. The ball looks like he's, feeding Saquon. Saquon's playing good ball. And I don't know. They're figuring it out. They're playing good. I like the Giants in this one. They're also on defense. They're only letting defensive score. I looked it up, 20 points a game or under. That's what they're averaging throughout this season. Through 9 games, only 20 points a game. It's looking pretty good. Again, I like a close one in this one just because the Lions have the possibility to, Amon-Ra St. Brown and, they do. Swift and, Jamal Williams have been playing well, but I don't know. I like the Giants. I think it could be close, but I see them grinding out either way.
Yeah, the Giants are just one of those teams where I look at the record, I'm like, are they really a 7-2 team?
Mm.
But I can't discredit them. Fuck, this
No.
is the National Football League, man. You play a tough team every week. Doesn't matter what the other team's record is, but it's still an NFL football team. And to be 7-2, that says something about you.
Mm.
Jake, are the Lions going to go to New York this week and get a win, or is it the Giants moving 8-2?
The Giants will be 8-2.
That's all you got?
Yeah, fuck the Lions.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're heading to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Zach?
I was looking at this one. Spread kind of shocked me. So I saw something a little off topic right here, but anytime a spread's over 7.5 over the last 5 years, there's a 57% chance that the team that's the underdog is going to cover for the betting people. But this is minus 12.5 for the Ravens. I think a big thing is if Mark Andrews plays. He's been out last 2 weeks, so he played against Tampa for like the first quarter or maybe first drive, and he's been out since. But I don't know. Lamar struck. I mean, it's hard to evaluate Lamar when he has literally nothing. They just signed Deshaun Jackson, who's 45 years old. I know he's not that old, but I don't know, man. I think the Ravens take care. I know Baker is starting this week again. I thought the Panthers might be in full tank mode, but Baker is starting. Ravens are only letting up 92 rushing yards a game. I know that the Panthers got rid of their rushing back, but I think that controls a lot of the game, and I think the Ravens went outright. Let's stay away from that spread. If not, I'd probably lean towards Panthers plus 12.5.
Hey, don't get it wrong, man. Baker starting means the Panthers are in full.
That's
wrong.
fair. That's fair.
All right, Jake, who we got, Panthers or Ravens?
This one I'm gonna have to go with the Ravens. I just think Mark Andrews back. They've been missing that, and I think the Ravens are gonna get hot.
Fair enough. All right, the 5-5 Washington Commies are heading to Houston to take on the 1-7-1 Texans. Zach, where you at with this one, man?
I mean, I think we should take a second and honor. I know you guys talked about it this past week, but how they controlled the game on Monday. I mean, they slowed them down, took care of the ball, the turnover battle. I mean, they played their hearts out like it was their Super Bowl. I mean, they played great ball. Heineke, I think, adds another level. I don't think Wentz is, going to see the field ever again, honestly. But, I mean, the spread is Washington -3. I feel like that's a lock of the week. I for sure take Washington -3 points right there. Texans are letting up 180 yards a game rushing. And Commanders had no issue running the ball, versus Philly last week. And Chase Young's back this week, actually. So I like Washington.
You don't have any worries? You don't have any worries of Washington just playing their hearts out against Philadelphia and then traveling on the road to cover that spread?
I don't know. I think they take the momentum with them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. They've played really good ball. They convinced me. I mean, wide receivers getting open. You never can count out Scary Terry. Curtis Samuel even playing decent. I just don't think the 1-7-1 Texans are going to pull up and stop all those. They actually have some decent weapons. I don't know. I like the Commanders.
I mean, are the Commanders low key a decent football team? Low key.
On paper, yeah, they got some good players.
How come I feel like every week people are just like, nah, whoever's playing the Commanders are gonna win?
Right.
I'm like, what the hell? They beat the Eagles both on the road. I'm pretty sure they went to Green Bay and Philadelphia to win those games.
Yep.
I don't know, man. The Commies, fuck them, fuck the Commies. Yep. But hey, they're there. Jake, are you with us, buddy? Who you got here?
Who's playing?
The Washington Commies are going to play this week at 1 p.m. in Houston.
Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy. Washington wins this one. Pretty self-explanatory. Texans are fucking awful.
Okay. I'm glad I'm talking to a wall right now. This is great. Good to see you. All right, we got probably one of the the second worst team in football, the Las Vegas Raiders, traveling to the Mile High City to take on the 3-6 Broncos.
No,
Let's
they are
ride.
definitely the worst
Zach,
team.
who you got?
They're the worst team in football, by far.
I know
the
Jake's
Raiders
happy to
did
see
beat
that.
the Raiders did beat the Texans, so I don't
Okay,
think we can
but
say they're the worst.
look at the amount of players on the Texans and the Raiders. The Raiders are paying how much money on payroll compared to the Texans? And the stars, you have Devontae Adams, Derek Carr. I mean, really, you have monsters over there. You Davis Mills, Brandon Cooks, Damian Pierce.
I think
The Raiders
you're
are
just,
the Raiders
think
are
you're
by
helping
far.
the case that the Raiders are better than the Texans. This is all you're doing.
No, they have that much more powers and they have one more win than them.
They played on the same exact field at the same exact time against each other, and the Raiders literally beat them.
I understand what you're saying, Jared, but
You
I'm
can't-
saying they have
Texans are better than them.
100%. They have 100% more talent than them, and they have one more win. So as an organization, they are not. I don't think a better team than the Texans because they have how much more potential than the Texans. This team at the beginning of the year was projected to maybe win the Super Bowl. They have one more win against the worst team in the NFL. I would have to say that's probably the worst team in the NFL is the Raiders.
I understand.
This is a wild take. So you're
No,
taking the
you're
Raiders
just
this week, Jake?
you're just being oblivious to it. You're just trying. Zach understands what I'm trying to say. Like,
Even though they beat
you're
them
just
on
being-
paper, they beat them
Yeah,
on the
even though
field,
they beat-
but
their
how
poten-
much better they are on paper.
Their potential
Like,
before the beginning of the year, this team was projected to win the Super Bowl.
they made the
They
playoffs
have-
last year.
They have 2 wins. This is the worst team in the NFL.
They made the playoffs last year and added Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
Okay, can we say that they're the most overrated team, not the worst team? Can we say that instead?
they're the worst team in the NFL.
Okay, so Jake's taking the Raiders over the Broncos this week. Zach, who do you like?
I literally what I wrote down is I don't have a lot for this game. 2 terrible teams. I just like very underwhelming football teams. I feel like you'd have to pay me to watch this game. If it wasn't on Red Zone, I wouldn't bat an eye. I'd probably take the Raiders just because they already beat them. That's about it. But I love it.
See,
though.
the Raiders
AFC
beat
West. I
Raiders
mean,
beat the Broncos.
Raiders beat the
Broncos got to be the
That's all I
worst
got.
team in football. Worst team in football. Broncos got to be.
They have the Raiders also lost to the Colts who tied the Texans.
Jake, who are you picking this game?
I'm pretty sure it was self-explanatory with the Broncos.
I get that, but the Broncos are fucking awful too.
Again, and the Raiders are the worst team in the NFL. So
All right. Didn't Zach already say the Raiders beat the Broncos? Did I hear that correctly or no?
I think they did like week 3 or something like that.
All right.
That's like one of their
All
2 wins,
next,
right?
2-7, baby. The Texans and the Broncos. But don't get me wrong, the Raiders are the worst team in football.
Nah, I get what Jake's saying though. You have all that power, you
No,
can't do nothing.
I get what he's saying. I think the verbiage is just a little bit off there. Overrated.
No,
I like the overrated term.
I would have to say the most overrated team is the Bills.
All right,
People
let's
who
move on to the next
projected
game.
people go 16-1, 17-0, and they
That's
lost
fair.
3.
They were
They lost 3 games already before week 11, and 2 of them have been because of probably their quarterback play, who's turned the ball over.
That's fair. I saw that the Bills were still like one of the top Super Bowl odds.
Oh,
Like,
don't get
to
me
win the
wrong,
Super
they
Bowl.
are, but I would have to say from what
No, I
they
know.
were projected.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like being overrated because I mean they were top of the. I'm pretty sure they were above Philly before they lost to the Vikings, Super Bowl winners, and
Exactly.
they lost to the Jets. And
I would have to say this year it was supposed to be Josh Allen was supposed to be the MVP, and he's probably not in the running, is he?
I have no
Probably
idea.
not.
Honestly, probably not.
I'd
Though.
say no.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would say they're very overrated too.
That's fair.
Well, I would have to say I was wrong on them. I thought they were going to be a lot better than what they were or what they are.
All right, the Fox game of the week. We have the 6-3 Dallas Cowboys coming off a loss, heading to Minnesota to take on not the GOAT Kirk Cousins this week because he won't be playing. We're just going to get Kirk Cousins. How we feeling, Zach?
I could see a really good game here. I'm excited to see Diggs versus Justin Jefferson. I think that'll be really exciting to see. But my dad's a Cowboys fan. I watch Cowboys, but their secondary, other than that, I mean, they're nothing very special. I think Adam Thielen and Hawkinson had pretty good days. One thing I will say though is it's right now it's Vikings plus 1.5, and I don't know if that's because Vegas knows something, or if it's because I know Singletary had 2 rushing touchdowns last week against them against Buffalo. I don't know if they're expecting Dallas to run the ball really well, but Vegas always knows where the spread is, and that was just a little. I'd probably stay away from this game, but I think it's gonna be a good game. I'm excited to see it. I still got the Vikings though winning, but I hope it's a good game again.
Yeah, the line's probably that way because the Cowboys coming off a loss and the Vikings coming off a very emotional road win. I would say that's probably why the line's that way. Jake, where you at with this one?
I'm at the Vikings here. I think the Vikings are good.
I think I agree with you. The Vikings are another one of those teams where I keep looking at the record. I'm like, fuck, they're 8-1, they're 7-1. At some point, we just got to call them what they are. They're a good football team, one of the best football teams in the league. So I like the Vikings. Obviously, I'll never pick the fucking Cowboys to win a game in my life. So I hope the Vikings win by 100.
Fair enough.
All right, next one we got Joe Burrow trying to avenge his first week of the season, heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I'm pretty sure this was the Sunday night football game at first.
Yep.
Am I correct with that?
Yep.
So they got flexed out because they both suck so bad. So the Steelers are taking on the Bengals. Zach, Bengals or Steelers?
Well, so I was kind of debating on this game. I know T.J. Watt's back this week, so that's exciting. You love watching him play. I'm not a big Steelers fan, but they always got tough defense. I know Fitzpatrick's playing. I know he just had appendicitis. He actually just got his appendix removed, so he wasn't supposed to play, but he's supposed to play. So defense must be at full strength. I can see tight game here as well. Without Jamar Chase, I don't know. I'm leaning Pittsburgh.
Minka's playing this week?
Yeah, I saw it on ESPN scrolling on the TV.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah, it said like at least 10 days, and it's only been only be 7 or 8 days.
That's crazy. Yeah, because you got it right the day before the game last week, right?
I think Saturday.
Wow, that's crazy. Jake, who you like here?
I like the Bengals. I think their offense is clicking. Even though they don't have Chase, they still have a really good offense.
Yeah.
And the Steelers are ass.
Steelers don't have a good defense. I agree. Our offense, sorry.
Yeah.
But I think their defense keeps them in a game.
Yeah. But T.J. Watt, man, T.J. Watt can win this game for the Steelers, I think.
If he's not tripping someone.
Yeah. All right. Next game, Sunday Night Football. Zach's team is playing at home. The 5-4 Chargers are hosting the 7-2 Kansas City Chiefs. Zach, tell me about your team. How they?
Well, I'm gonna be very upset to see them lose back-to-back weeks on Sunday Night Football. It's gonna be very hard. But they did play a lot better than I thought they would last week against San Fran. I think 3-point loss. They played good defensively. Offense, it's just I think we need to get rid of our offensive coordinator. I don't know if it's because we don't have the weapons; they're all hurt. We don't have the line right now, just trying to get the ball out quick or what. But we're not letting Herbert sling the ball really, and that's when he's at his best. I feel like we just need a fast wide receiver or someone that can go make a jump ball. I don't see them winning. That being said, Keenan and Mike Williams said that they are planning on playing this week. They're questionable right now, but both are aiming towards playing this week, so gives them a little bit of edge. I wouldn't count them out because this is always a close game against the Chiefs. But I'm still going Chiefs.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the offense, the receivers being out, and then losing your best offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to make calls on offense and sling it downfield when you don't have your best weapons and you don't have your best linemen.
Right.
So getting at least those two weapons back this week might change things, especially when you have your deep ball guy, Mike Williams, coming back, and then you have Keenan Allen being that
Right.
possession guy.
Hmm.
I think it's going to change a little bit because without those two, who can Herbert really trust?
Yeah.
And with offense, it's about rhythm and trusting the guys that you have. So if you don't have your two main guys, it's hard. So I think this week might change. And like you said, the Chargers always play the Chiefs pretty good. I know they already had a battle this week. I think it was the second week of the year on Thursday night in Kansas City. The Chargers should have won that game, pretty positive. If I remember correctly, there was some crazy pick six or something like that at the end of the game.
99 yards.
Yeah, so I don't know. It should be interesting. If those two guys are back, I think I like the Chargers this week, but you can never count Patrick Mahomes out no matter what. So, Jake, where are you at with this one?
I like the Chargers or the Chiefs here. I just don't know if the Chargers are gonna have enough, and even though they do come back, they haven't really played all year together. So I just really don't know how healthy they're gonna be, and you really can't have too many of those possessions where you can't give up too many possessions against the Chiefs because they're gonna make you pay for it. So I just think it's gonna be a tough game to bounce back against. And I don't know I know Keenan said he's gonna play, but like fantasy wise, I would hold off on that because I feel like he's always a game time decision, and like a lot of his recent injuries too have came from trying like warming up and like practicing. So like he needs to get through the practice and get to the game before, because with his hamstring, it's the way that you warm up and the way he has to see if he's good to go, where he might injure that before the game starts. So even though he said he's playing, I'd keep an eye on that. But I think Mike Williams definitely plays, and I'm okay with them getting the ball out quick because I got Austin Eckler on my fantasy team. He gets about 10 dump down passes a game.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
He really has a crazy stat. He had like 10 catches for 23 yards.
Chiefs are having wide receiver issues too. McCole Hardman's out, and Juju's out with concussion.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that side of the ball with the Chargers. So when the Chiefs are on offense, I watched a little bit of the Sunday night game last week, and I saw is Kenneth Murray okay?
He's okay. Yeah, I believe he practiced all week.
Okay, so didn't he leave the game early last week?
He left, but he came back. I think when he went to make a tackle, teammate hit him in the head or something, so he had to get evaluated, kind of like Herbert.
Okay. And is Bosa playing this week?
No. I don't know if he'll come back this year. He had surgery, I think groin. They said they're going to be patient with that one. I mean, especially with all the injuries we've had, left tackles out, cornerbacks out, all Pro Bowlers. They're going to be patient. I mean, try and come back next year. But I don't know. I don't think they'll rush him back unless we're, still sitting around, above 500 and we have a chance to make the playoffs or something like that. But he's not back yet. But Khalil Mack's been playing good ball.
So you said the cornerback, so J.C. Jackson's still out?
Oh, yeah, he's done for the year. I think he tore something in his knee. I forget. Something in his knee, though. I'm pretty sure he's done for the year.
Yeah, that was a kind of a tough pickup so far for the Chargers in the offseason, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right, Monday Night Football. I feel like we always see the Niners either playing Sunday night or Monday night every single week.
Yeah.
The 49ers are heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The 49ers are just uber talented at every position on both sides of the ball. They have a really good, balanced team. The Cardinals, I know they lost Zach Ertz last week. I don't know. Zach, what are your thoughts on this game?
So, I was really surprised last week because we're playing against the Chargers. They handed the ball off a lot to Elijah Mitchell. More CMC goal line. They still handed it off to him. I don't know if it was predictable and the Chargers were defending it well, but I think they're a very dangerous team. Debo was on a snap count. That was his first week back I feel like they had a bye, but he was hurt and he was out a week. I think they went by and then he was on like a snap count or something like that. I think they'll be fine. They're talented all around. That defense is good too. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a run late in the year as well. I know Kyler was questionable as well. You know, he didn't play last week. But I think if he plays or not, I still got San Fran winning. I believe this game's in Mexico City too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know what happened to Jared. He's just a bitch.
That's fair. I think
But,
it's in Mexico City though, right?
It definitely could be. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm about to look.
But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about. Oh, how shitty is it about the Cardinals dropping their running back?
Yeah, dude. You know, I was surprised by that. Yeah, this game is in Mexico City.
You guys got me back? You hear me?
Yep.
I have no idea what the fuck happens. Like my Wi-Fi is just because like on my end, I'm still here moving around, and you guys are just done.
Really?
So, you guys already talked about this game. You guys made your picks. 49ers, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Definitely gonna be the 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking about, Benjamin getting released or waived or whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's shocking. They must really trust James Conner because he doesn't get hurt ever. So.
Right.
All right. Well, that's all the games for this week. Just give me a quick thing. Like, what game are you guys looking forward to the most this week? Jake or Zach, I'll start with you.
I think by far, game looking forward to has got to be Dallas and Minnesota. I think there's a potential for a lot of good games, a lot of close games at least. I could see Cincinnati and Pittsburgh being a close game. Kansas City at Chargers could be a blowout or a good game, but I think most looking forward to, I think Dallas and Minnesota.
Jake?
Raiders and Broncos.
You're not gonna watch one fucking down of this game.
I don't know because I'll actually be at work like an actual man working on Sundays.
Hey, that's God's day, boy. You better leave it to him.
Are you gonna be at church?
Nope, I don't gotta go to church to talk to Jesus.
Okay. Well, the biggest game of the week is gonna be the Cowboys and the Vikings.
I gotcha. All right, I think I agree. I can't wait to watch that game. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. What game will you not turn on, even if it was the last football game on earth? Zach, go.
Broncos, Raiders, easily. Done.
Absolutely. Jake?
Bears, Falcons.
That's a good one.
That's just natural for Jake to say. He doesn't want to watch the best quarterback in football play. I guess. Whatever.
Why don't I want to watch that?
I don't know, because it's going to be a great fantasy football quarterback going against Marcus Mariota. So it'd be a fun one to watch. All right, I got nothing else, boys. Anything you want to say, Zach? I appreciate you for coming on. Anything you want to say before you head out?
Nah, I don't think anything. We'll see you next week for Ohio State versus that team up north. I'm excited for it. Just got to get through this last week and nothing. And then, I'm ready for it. November 26th, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jake, anything before you head out, man? Go to bed?
No, sir. That'd be tragic if both teams lost this weekend, wouldn't it?
Be tragic if you shut the fuck up.
What would happen? What would you guys even care about next week? If both teams lost?
It doesn't matter.
You'd have to.
It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. I will care 100% about next week.
Do both teams get in if TCU loses and Georgia beats LSU? Does Ohio State and Michigan both get in?
Yes.
I think they do. I think it's got to be Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio State, Michigan.
We need USC to lose too. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
And I think the best to really secure it, I think Michigan would have to beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because I think Ohio State has a better one-loss resume than Michigan would.
That's fair.
But
I don't know.
I could give two shits. I would just rather Ohio State win and Michigan doesn't make it. Who gives a fuck?
No, I agree. I just like that security as well. It's just like you got rid of everybody else. I like USC lose another game before TCU. TCU is, it's the Big 12, so I guess you never know. But I don't know.
Yeah. All right, we're out of here, boys. Zach, safe travels, my friend, and have a good Thanksgiving. Tell the family the same thing.
Yes,
So
sir.
don't know
You
if I'll
too.
see you until then.
Yep.
Next week, next Saturday, you're on with us, right? In the morning?
Yes, sir. Yep.
He just said
All
that.
righty, cool. Oh, did he say that? I'm sorry. I'm over here kind of drunk, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hop off.
Yeah, that's why
Thanks
he was
again.
fun time. That's funny.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy watching some football, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Me and Jake won't be there, but I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.
Probably 2 hours
Later.
later.